When it comes to camping, there is nothing better than sitting by the bonfire with the aroma of food. However, one of the fastest ways your fun can get spoiled is if your food gets spoiled. One of the questions every camper asks is how to keep food cold and fresh while on camping trip. You can take things like dry sausages, onions or fruits on camping trips, but most of the perishables will go stale. The problem is if you eat such food, you can get food poisoning. Food poisoning is already bad at home, but on camping trip it is even worse. The best way to preserve such food items is to keep them cold. Let's discuss 6 ways you can keep your food cold while camping. So without running to the toilet with food poisoning, let's start. First is freezing food before leaving. There can be several ways to freeze your food before leaving for your camping trip. Cook your food items before you go on your camping trip. If you want to remove much of the stress, you can then freeze the food and the drinks before leaving. It will help in keeping the cooler cold for much longer. If you want to save time, you can always pick up some frozen meals from any grocery store or gas station. Nowadays, most supermarkets sell a variety of frozen meals. You need to be very careful while packing your frozen food items, as you would not want any item to defrost and spoil other food items in the container. One way to do that is to pack them in separate containers or Ziploc bags before keeping them in the cooler. Second is coolers. Carrying coolers on a trip has come a long way. Coolers these days are very efficient, but you can follow these rules to make it work perfectly. Coolers work a lot better when they are pre-chilled. If you are going camping in a cold environment, you can keep the cooler outside. Otherwise, you can keep a bag full of ice in it the night before. Now to make it work efficiently, always keep your frozen fruits and vegetables in the cooler first. You can always put frozen bottles around your food items to keep them cold. Additionally, keep the items you need more regularly, such as milk, cheese, ketchup, etc. at the top. Before closing the lid, don't forget to put an insulating layer. It will help to maintain the temperature inside the cooler. Third is cooler bags. You can keep your perishable food items in the cooler bags. This way, your food will remain fresh for a couple of days. For example, if you want to carry some frozen meat, you can freeze the food in the marination sauce and keep that in the cooler bags. It will act like an ice cube. This way it can last at least for a couple of days. If you want it to last even longer, you can even wrap the food in the newspaper and then put it in the middle. You can even put ice cream in the cooler bags if you want to have it during your camping trip. It can last for a couple of days. You can also carry ice packs inside the cooler bag. It will keep it cold for more time. Depending on how you like to camp, some people prefer to take more ice packs. Fourth is thermos and insulated containers. At times, using ice can be inconvenient. You can use thermos or insulated containers to keep your food and beverages cold without ice. The only issue with them is their capacity. They are generally smaller in size. Thus, they are good for a couple of people and for 1 to 3 days of camping at most. More than that, you may have to go for other alternatives we'll talk about here. Fifth is portable refrigerator. Portable refrigerators are by far the best solution for keeping your food products cold. However, they come with a hefty price tag. While coolers and cooler bags set you back by $50 to $100, a portable refrigerator can go easily above $300. Thus, it may not be for everyone. But if you are a frequent camper, you will be much better off with a refrigerator than any other solution on the list. RVs and refrigerators go very well together. However, if your car has a compact boot, refrigerators may not be an ideal choice for you. Sixth is keep your coolers and containers away from the sun. Now this one goes without saying. Keeping the coolers in the sun can be a big mistake. It goes for refrigerators as well. Keeping the coolers and refrigerators in the sun will melt the ice or reduce their efficiency. To avoid that, you can keep the coolers in the shade. You can keep the coolers inside the tent, the boot of your car, or below a tree in a shade. Remember, food is just one part of the picture. You can't use all of your packing space and money on food storage options alone. You will require some other important things for a good camping trip. You can check out this video to learn more about the most important things you will need for camping. That's about it. Vineet out.